Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel, and this is my reality. So today I wanted to just briefly talk to you guys about Keke Palmer and her relationship. So Entertainment Tonight is reporting. So let's start at the beginning. So a few years ago, I think this was reported in 2023, in late 2023, if I'm not mistaken. So Entertainment Tonight states Keke Palmer is opening up about her identifying the culprit behind a bad relationship and getting a rude awakening after venturing out on her own. So you guys remember Usher had a concert, and I guess Usher and Keke go way, way back or whatever. I know they really love each other. Maybe it's a singing thing. Maybe it's they're young or they are relatively young in the music industry, and therefore they relate to each other. At that concert, Keke, I think at that time had just had a baby boy and was feeling herself. And I ain't mad at her. If I was Keke, I would feel myself too. Snatched for the gods. Okay? Okay. And I think Keke and her boyfriend, baby daddy, whatever you want to call it, were not so much on good terms at the time. So Keke got on her little sheer outfit, honey, she had on, and you guys I'm sure remember, but basically it was like a bra and like a thong bottom and then like a sheer layover or overlay. And her heels, and she was just like, listen, let's get into it, okay? And excuse me, Keke and her guests or people that were with her were on stage, and then Usher came and got her. Now, I'm confident, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm confident that Usher wanted Keke to come on the stage. He probably even invited her. That's probably what happened. But at any rate, she got on the stage with him, and he was like holding her and this, that, and the third, and they danced a little bit, and she sang. And it was a cute little moment. Lots of people lost their minds because they were just like, how dare she? She's a mom. She's a da-da-da-da. She's in a relationship. X, Y, and Z. I'm going to tell you something. Relationship or not. And listen, I've been married for almost 20 years. I'm going to need you to give me a pass. Yeah, I'm going to need a pass. I'm not sleeping with Usher. Okay? Be clear. But I'm going to have this moment. It's a moment. This is not, we going off and, into the, what do they call it? The future together. We're not doing that. I'm just having a moment. It's not like he grabbed both of her ass cheeks, and it's not like that. That would be a little much. If my husband was at a Rihanna concert, which he would never be at because that's just not his vibe. He's a introvert, so he would never be there. But let's say he happened to be there, and I was there, or whatever. And Rihanna was like, came over and got him, and he can actually sing, so he sang, and she held him. Listen, get your whole entire life, okay, on the stage with Rihanna. Because when is this going to happen again to you in your life? Not ever. Let's just keep it a book. So I don't understand why people were so outraged by that. Then I don't know if it was a few weeks later or a few months later, Keke was back in the news because Keke's mother and boyfriend, or I guess he was the ex-boyfriend at the time, had gotten into it because I guess there was, let me say it like this, reportedly there was some DV, which I just call assault. They call it domestic violence. I think we should call it what it is. It's assault, physical assault. That's what it should be called because that's what it is. But anyways, YouTube might strike it because they don't want you to use words that actually are truthful and accurate. But anyways, and the mom, Keke mom, and the baby daddy, I'll just say that his name is Darius, had some sort of exchange where she said some really vulgar things to him, and people were up in a roar about that because she was saying he was getting done through the back door. And you know, as an insult, she also so that was very homophobic, and it's not something you should ever do, and I would never condone it. She also used some other terms like, I guess he's not from this country, so very xenophobic type stuff. He needs to go back to wherever, right? So I'm of two minds. Do I think what she said was grotesque? Absolutely, 100%. Should it ever be said? Absolutely not, right? However, the people that I know that have children would lay down their life for their children. So if I find out that you've thrown my child, adult or not, across a room, that you put your hands on my child, everything is up for whatever the hell I want it to be that day. Be very clear. So I don't really care about what's coming out of my mouth if you were over here trying to bash my daughter's head in, allegedly. So I'm gonna say whatever I want to say, period. Now, if I was Keke's mom, I wouldn't say it where I'm gonna say it where you're not gonna be able to record me. But you know, she probably was in the heat of the moment. She probably was tired of it because I'm certain that wasn't the first time. So she said some things, and I don't, you know, like I said, I completely disagree with her statements, but I don't disagree with her sentiment because come see about me about my child, okay? And that's what it is. So we're going to bring it back to current. Oh, and one last thing about that. So the other component was at some point, someone, I don't know who leaked, I think it was Keke's diary. And it was basically saying that Keke had been into other physical altercations where she was the aggressor, is what was being said. And people love to use the anecdotal evidence to apply to masses, right? So it'll be like, people love to say, okay, for example, with sexual assault, people will say, we can't believe victims because, or we can't believe all victims because of the one guy out of 200,000 who got accused of sexual assault and the girl was lying. They want to use that as the anecdotal evidence to say, we can't believe none of them. We have to vet everybody, right? And they love to vet the victim, but they never want to vet the perpetrator. They don't have all that smoke for the perpetrator, but they got a million things to ask the victim, right? And that's just typical. And we've talked about that a lot on this show, on Chanel's Reality. We've covered it. If you're just not coming in, we're talking about Keke Palmer's relationship with Darius, her, I'll say, significant other from time to time, and also the father of her child. And so people who were Team Keke, some of them, well, I'll say this, some of the people who I guess maybe felt like, well, I'm gonna be on her team this time, right? Because we didn't know she was being violently attacked at home or whatever the case may be. The moment they found any type of evidence, like I said, anecdotal evidence, which is anecdotal evidence basically means this is very personal. It's within your life scope. So it might be your situation at home, or your situation with your mom, dad, cousin, brother, your situation at work, maybe even your situation with some low level of the government. That's your anecdotal. That's what happened to you. And they like to take that and apply it to a macro level. So micro is anecdotal, macro is a much bigger picture, right? So macro would be the United States government at the executive level. Micro would be Texas government, right? It applies to people in Texas. It's not going to apply to the whole United States, right? So, but people take, like I said, that one situation, and then Keke's situation, they took this diary entry where she basically, I guess, wrote out how she was aggressive and she was the aggressor and she had hit someone and how this, that, and the third. So basically, let's use this let's apply Keke Palmer's diary entry to why we can't really just defend victims of violent attacks in their home or outside of whatever it is. We can't defend it because of that one time she wrote that thing, and that one time she got into it with the guy and she was the perpetrator. No, we're not gonna apply that to the entire world. Be clear, because victims of domestic violence, or I don't even like using the word domestic violence because it's a dog whistle. That's those people and their problem, when it's a global problem, and it always has been. Go back to the rule of thumb. Okay, it says that you can hit your wife as long as you don't hit her anything that's thicker than your thumb. So nothing thicker than the whatever. You shouldn't be able to hit anybody for any reason. Period. But that is something that was a law at the time because people were so stupid. But also they felt like women were property. Women couldn't own anything. They couldn't buy property. They couldn't do anything for themselves. They were a burden. And then, so you made laws to say, I can't do anything. I can't get a job. I can't work. I can't have voting rights. I can't, have a credit card. I can't buy property, but I'm your burden. Well, you the one that put the laws into place to make me the burden. Like, knock it all the way off. But anyways, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. We're going to stay on task this morning because I have things to do. So fast forward to now. Keke Palmer was seen with her, I guess he's her boyfriend, but I don't know if he's her boyfriend. He may just be her child's father, and they're out doing whatever it is that they're out doing that day. There is plenty of people on this planet Earth who have children with ignorant, stupid, violent men. Plenty of them. And there are plenty of men who have children with stupid, ignorant, out of line, evil women who just want to make their life hell because he ain't with you no more. That's the exception. That is not the rule when it comes to violence against women. Now, yes, she could be annoying and, putting child support on you, even though y'all agreed that she wouldn't put the child support as long as you got the baby 3 days a week or whatever the agreement was. Yes, there are annoying people out there that don't want you to be happy because now you with old girl, and how dare you? Right? So I don't know if y'all saw, I saw something on Instagram. It was so hilarious. This lady, she was like, she went to the guy's doorbell, rang the doorbell, and then like the ring doorbell captured her saying, answer my call, and I'm paraphrasing, but it was basically like, answer the door, answer my call, whatever, and I'll give your grandmother back her dentures. It's like, see, y'all are just, I cannot. So that's what I mean. So yeah, there are people like that out there, hundreds of millions of them. But regarding violence, it's not the same. It's just a disproportionate number. It's a disparity. It's not the same. So get that out your mind if that's in your mind. If you're new to Chanel's Reality, I'm Chanel, and this is my reality. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Hit all my buttons. Hit the notification button so that you'll know when I go live or when I'm going to upload a video. It's the easy and free way to support my channel. Okay. I was going to say something else. I can't remember. Oh, everything said on Chanel's Reality is, in my opinion, is for entertainment purposes only, and it's all alleged. Okay. But thank you guys so much. Love you guys so much. Everybody that's a part of the Chanel crew. Love you, love you, love you. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, we were talking about Keke Palmer. So what has happened recently is, let me see if I can pull up. Where I think there's a picture. Let me see, maybe under, okay, so I'll share this with you guys. Let's see, stop sharing, and then this one. Okay. So this says Keke Palmer and ex Darius Jackson reunite for outing with their son after she dropped restraining order custody case. So that's another thing that happens a lot of times in relationships. Whenever you're going through whatever it is you're going through, that really tough time, that time that he really violated you, and you're not going back, and whatever it is, it's the cycle of violence and control and power. Okay. I'm sure she went through that. And then I'm sure there's that honeymoon part that happens again in relationships where people are physically violated and where people are emotionally taken advantage of, financially taken advantage of, or whatever it is. I don't know Keke Palmer. I wasn't there, so I can't say, girl, I don't know. But from what it looks like, she at some point had a restraining order and then dropped it. If I was to guess why it probably got dropped is probably because I feel like so many women that I know, they have this, I'm not going to keep my child from having a relationship with their father. I would say that's understandable, but the two reasons I feel like people do that, this is my opinion, is that they either grew up in a household where their father was their life. Their father, their mom, whomever was their life, and they had a really close, loving, strong relationship with their father. So they want that for their child. Or they didn't have a father growing up. Maybe he was in and out of the life. Maybe he wasn't there at all. And they don't want that for their child. So they want to make sure that at the end of the day, once the child is an adult, they can say, I didn't do anything to get in the middle of their relationship. But here's the thing. Here's the problem that I have with that train of thought. I'm just kind of like, if your child's father is a violent psychopath who is beating or physically assaulting you, let me say it like that, and your child, or just you, financially abusing you, physically abusing you, what's the right word? Emotionally, all of those things are not good for the child. I don't know about y'all, but I wouldn't want my child to be around someone who doesn't even value me. Let's start there. I'm not going to have you around my child if you're violent to me. I always have said, it's sort of like thinking about it. Think about it. If you take the male, the violent one, we'll just say, because that's statistically usually who is violent in the relationships. Let's say you remove that violent guy and you just put in um, your aunt, someone you know, and your aunt don't like you. I would love to know what person is like, yeah, let me drop my child off with my aunt who can't even stand me. No, ain't no way. We're kin. That's my blood. And I don't get me started on, I don't believe blood thicker than water, because I feel like your family are the people who value you. Period. You can have your family all day long and they be the first ones to leave you hanging out by yourself, not there for you, whatever, talking about you, gossiping, all that kind of stuff. So I listen, I rock with who rocks with me. Period. So if you're gonna show that you're a friend, I'm gonna be a friend. I'm loyal and I'm down. Once you in, you in. It's kind of like the mafia. No, nothing. But yeah, I'm just like, if you're not going to leave your child with someone that you know does not like you, why would you do that with just because that's the father? I ain't leaving my child with the father. So I don't know if y'all recall a few months ago, there was this lady. She's one of Neo's baby's mama. Baby's mama, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, she's the mother of one of his kids, maybe even two. And she showed up at his house. She was filming him at some point on her phone. And, she was just going in. She was just like, you over here got prostitutes over here with my child and over here doing drugs and this, that, and the third. Just outed him because you could never have told me that's what Neo was up to. Not Neo, not Miss Independent. Miss Independent. Like, not him, child. But I'm learning more and more each day, even though I already know the statistical data. I've told you guys this before about men, and doing unsavory things to the women that they've had children with, and savage things. So you never know what anyone is doing or will do or won't do. You just don't know. You're assuming. But ET says Keke Palmer and ex Darius Jackson reunite for outing with son after she drops restraint. Oh, I read that. Okay, order in custody case. So that has happened to many people I know. They go through this roller coaster ride of I'm gonna put him on child support. Then they kind of make up right before the child support is supposed to be. You're gonna put him on it. Then he pisses. So then he pays the child support for 3 months, and then suddenly he ghosts her, and he ain't sending the child support, and they fighting again, and whatever. Right? It is what it is. I can't necessarily say I understand the mindset of someone who returns to a emotionally or physically abusive relationship. I don't necessarily understand it, but I do know that there are some people who grow up in very violent homes and that is normal to them. So if that's your norm, it doesn't seem outrageous to continue to be in a relationship like that. So if you watched your mom in a relationship like that, or your aunties or whomever else, it's not going to be that far fetched. Sometimes people go the complete opposite. They'll never date some crazy whatever, right? But it's just unfortunately when it's not something that is so far fetched or out of your purview, people just kind of go along with it. And I think a lot of women, I'll just say a lot of women that I've met, their mindset is I don't want to get in between the relationship and keep my children out of their father's life, and I don't want my child to be mad at me because they didn't have their father around. But again, like I said again, if he doesn't like me and he beating the brakes off of me, he doesn't even respect me. Why on earth would I have this person around my child? If you take away the title father, why would you leave your child around some crazy person like that? If you take away the title and you just wrote it up in an op-ed and you just said, um I'm hiring a babysitter that's going to be with my child until 18 years old. And that babysitter says, yeah, they're violent or you've witnessed them be violent. You're never going to hire them. You're never going to leave your child with those people. Would you leave your child at a daycare that they got harmed at? Where the daycare people were treating you poorly, talking to you crazy? You wouldn't. You'd be like, oh, hell no. But people feel, especially I think women feel convicted. They feel some sort of conviction. Here's the thing. I'm not feeling bad because you're an asshole. I'm not feeling bad that I kept my child away from an idiot. I'm not feeling bad. That's what you're supposed to do as a parent. You're supposed to be protecting them. It's sad that you got to protect them from their other parent, but it is what it is. So I'd rather protect my child from this asshole, and my child will just have to be mad at me if that's going to happen, but they're not. People are so afraid of, well, he's gonna say, well, my mom didn't really let my dad around. Yeah, because your dad was an actual asshole and he was violent towards me and disrespectful to me. So no, I'm not gonna have my child who is helpless dependent on this crazy person. It's just not logical, but it's the emotional part. And emotions just don't travel in, rational channels. They just don't. People's emotions get involved, and then they do things like, I'm going to file a restraining order, I'm going to have this person locked up, and those things are the emotions of I'm really tired and this is so horrific, and they have that response, right? And then, slowly but surely that person starts, with the I'm sorry's, and I'm going to pay my child support, so I sent the child support this month, and I just want to be in my child's life, and whatever it is that they tell you to convince you to give them another chance. I know a person personally right now who is dating a narcissist, 100%. And they know that this person is a narcissist. They listen. When I say they know, I'm going to say their background and their education ensures that they know. They're very aware. And this person isn't a good person to them or their children. But they're narcissists, so they know the game. They're going to love bomb you. They're going to figure out whatever they need to figure out, say whatever they need to say, buy whatever they need to buy, their way right on back into your bed. Isn't that what Kim Porter allegedly wrote in her book about Diddy? He beat her with a chair in a hotel room, I believe, and she woke up in a hospital. And allegedly, and this is all alleged, She woke up in the hospital and he was sitting there. She knew she couldn't scream for her life because she would get no help. You can't explain that type of injury. She was in a car wreck. Well, where's the car? The police wasn't on the scene. How do you get those type of injuries and not be in a car wreck? But I'm sure he didn't go to prison. He's or jail. He's sitting there in her recovery room in the hospital after he's no doubt injured this lady severely. That if she doesn't remember anything until she woke up in the hospital, what did you hit her with that she's not all the way smooth out? And yet, rest that lady's soul in peace. She stayed for however many years and couldn't get away from the idiot. Cassie's another one. I'm just bringing up people that are more relevant right now that everyone knows about. But one would wonder, why would they stay in some abusive relationship like that? There's lots of reasons people stay. There's lots of reasons people return. Children is a big one. Almost, I would say probably the biggest. But how can you protect your children if you can't protect yourself? Anyway, the article goes on to say Keke Palmer and her ex Darius Jackson reunited for an outing with their son, um, Lotus. I guess Lotus is his name, or Leotis. Leotis, sorry. Over the weekend, months after she dropped restraining order and custody case against her former partner. Jackson, I guess that's his name, Darius Jackson, who goes by Darius Dalton, shared a picture via his Instagram story Sunday of him and the Nope actress while they were on a stroll with their 1-year-old. In the photo, the dad, let me see. In the photo, the dad of one posed. Oh, he's the dad of one. I don't know why people write stuff like this, but anyway, the dad of one posed while holding Leotis in his arms as Palmer 30 flashed a huge grin while looking at her son. Oh, our baby's so cute. This Darius guy, if this is him, he looks mean. Is it just me? He looks mean. He looks like he has a temper. So they're just talking about how she was dressed and how he was dressed for the outing. So it says the ex's family reunion, so them coming together months after Palmer dropped, 3 months after she dropped the restraining order and custody case against him. Telling you, so many men, they're good at making you want to just save your family. And look how gorgeous she is. Why does she need to have a headache like this idiot? And it just shows you, I mean, you can be beautiful, you can be sexy, you can be wealthy, you could be highly educated, come from an amazing family, and this can still be your life. This type of abuse does not have an area code or a race or gender. It does have a higher level of violence against females than it does against anyone else. But there are people online who feel like, keep Keke out of my business. I mean, stay out of Keke's business. That's between her and her significant other. We need to stay out of their business. Or they want to drag her. They love to drag victims. I don't know what it is, but they love to drag victims and victim blame. Oh, she's stupid. She's this, that, and the third. I think she's a human. Would this be a situation that I would be in? Probably not, because I'm not that. Unfortunately, and this is no shade to any victims. I'm simply saying I'm just not that girl. I'm not the girl they're going to pick out and say, I could probably control her or I could probably hit her. And that's not to say big, strong women don't, sometimes end up in abusive relationships, because they certainly do. It's who stays is the thing. And I just can't see myself staying. It's just not a situation I think I would ever, because my safety is paramount. And I'm not laying down anyone I don't feel safe with. I'm not going to be around anyone I don't feel safe with. But lots of people, they're online and they're like, see, she didn't leave. She's back with him. But this is the thing. Power and control is a cycle, right? It's circular. It goes like this in those type of relationships. And it's odd that she's the person in the position of power, meaning she's the beautiful one. She's the famous one. She's the one with all the money. He's not. But again, that's why I say it doesn't have a tax bracket. It doesn't mean just because he's this is why it's irritating to me when people will come out and say, like Cassie with Diddy, oh, she was just around here for money. I haven't heard nobody say that he's around here just for money. I've heard them say, oh, he don't have no job or he this, that, and third, but I have never heard anyone say some man is just with her and he on the come up and all this, that, and the third. That is usually not the case. That has happened a few times where people said that about Kandi Burruss' husband, Todd Tucker. And I'm like, this man had a whole job making over $100,000 a year. He want her for money. Yes, she got way more. Maybe now they're more closely, in terms of how much money they have, maybe. But again, that's an anecdotal situation. It's not typically like that. It's usually, oh, if the woman is with a man and he has more money than her, has to be the paramount reason. That's number one, numero uno, of why she's there. Like as if women can't have money of their own. It's so stupid. And women are educated, especially Black women. We're some of the most educated people in this country. Let's be very clear about that. We're twice as educated as our counterparts that are male and brown. Be clear. So, anyways, I think, you know what? I wish this lady the best. I hope she gets out of this what appears to be toxic relationship, allegedly, and realizes her worth. She's too pretty, too talented, too gifted and smart to be selling herself so short with this idiot. There is somebody, I can promise you, Keke Palmer, that can value you, love on you, be nice to you, and is cute and handsome and all of those things that I'm sure you probably want, and doesn't have to abuse you. But you have to know that in your soul. The outward appearance that people present to the world isn't real, it's fake. Think of how many pictures people take before they post that one photo. The 262 pictures they took, now they got one good one. Keke don't have to do that. You can't get ugly nowhere on her. You can't. And she's talented and she's beautiful, and she's sexy. I'm just like, girl, why? Just saying. But like I said before, I'm not sitting in judgment of the why, because I'm pretty confident the why is the baby. The why probably has something to do with her inner self-esteem. People can be beautiful on the outside, but it's what's on the inside that motivates us. So if you are empty on the inside, your motivation is to get someone to fill up that void. Sometimes that you fill it up with trash. Sometimes you can look out and fill it up with someone good. But oftentimes people have to trifle through the trash before they get to the good. It's just unfortunate, because we teach women in this country and around the world to compete against each other for the attention of men. It's just a fact. But we don't teach men the same. We don't teach men to be monogamous. We teach them the opposite. Go out there and sow your royal oats. That's what we teach men. And if you don't let him do that, then he's going to cheat on you. That's what we teach women. If you don't suck his every night, he going to cheat on you. If you don't cook his meal, he going to cheat on you. If you're not rubbing his back, he going to cheat. Like, girl, knock it off. If a man wants to cheat, if anyone wants to cheat, that's what they're going to do. Period. gender or not. It just is what it is. I'm just telling you what the facts are. You can live in fairy tale land if you want to, but I'm going to give you the real. Even if a woman leaves her husband and gets a divorce, it's still her fault because she wasn't fucking him enough. She wasn't sucking him enough. He cheated on her, and so she's leaving, but it's her fault because she wasn't doing whatever. And so he'll go get it elsewhere. Well, nigga, go get it elsewhere. That's where I'm sitting. Come see about me. Okay? I don't play the type of games. No, ma'am. Mm-mm. And that's not to say that you can't have an oops in the relationship, right? And I don't mean oops like it was an accident. I mean oops like people fuck up. They do some dumb shit, and then they realize, I shouldn't have done that. And maybe you can try to figure out, and maybe you can make it work. But I do think trust is the foundation of every relationship. And if the trust is shaky, the whole house is shaky. It's hard to circle back from that type of disloyalty. It is. So, people get comfortable with who's comfortable to them. But if a man leaves, it's her fault. You can guarantee it. They're going to figure out why he's divorcing her. It must be something she did. And I can guarantee you, even if he's in the wrong, that's why I use cheating as an example. Even if he's in the wrong and he cheated, they're going to say he cheated because she must not have been doing it. It's a double standard. A woman could be at all of her children's events for school, and they'll ask, "Well, where's the dad? Oh, he's not here." People automatically give him a pat. Oh, he's working. Oh, okay. And when he shows up, they sing his praises. Be clear. If the roles are reversed and the man is there at all of the children's events and the mom isn't, they're going to wonder, what the hell is that? What type of mother would not be here for her child in this manner? What is she doing? Work. Why is she putting work before her kids? This is what people are going to say. And when she shows up, they're not going to give her grace. They're going to say she's a bad mom. People expect a mother to quit her job and whatever else, sacrifice anything she wants for herself, but if she has a child, because she has a man. But they don't expect that to happen for men. If a man is off working somewhere getting paid, it's okay for him to do that. And it's a respectable thing for him. But if a woman does it, oh no, we can't have that. How dare she? She does not care about her family. If the woman is off at work and not at the event for the child, she does not love her family. She does not care about her family. It is the complete opposite if a man does it. If a man is off working and not at his child's events, that man loves his family. He is trying to provide for his family. He cares about his family. You see the difference? And people don't care. We're always going to get blamed. And that's why I'm like, y'all, wake up. Like, wake all the way up. What y'all think about Tamar? Child. I'll just say, I sigh because I can't with Tamar. She's a whole hot ass mess. But she's who she is. She's still on the internet doing the psych, not psych, not psych. She's just she has a fan base, and I used to like Tamar, but she has a fan base, and she just wants to feed the machine because it makes her feel good for people to respond to her. And she doesn't, it's like she'll take it any way she can get it. It used to be kind of cute and whatever, and now it's like, by all means, I have to get it. I have to figure out a way to get people to get attention drawn to me. She had a very big light on her for a few years when she was on the real, when she was on Braxton Family Values, when she did Tamar and Vince, when she dropped her album Love and War. She had a very bright light on her, and now the light is so dim. It's almost as if she's sitting in the dark. Because this cannot be truthful with herself about who she truly is to save her life. And I wish everybody the best. I want her to get it together, but I don't know that that's ever going to happen. And this is the thing. Tamar, you is a few years older than me. Alexa, how old is Tamar Braxton? Tamar Braxton is 47 years old. Yes, she's older than me. She almost 50. You still around here playing reindeer games. Like, what are you doing with your life? You have all this opportunity. You have fame. So you have ways to get in the door and you're wasting it being childish and just petty. I cannot. But anyway, she went online the other day and was doing something like she was saying her family's toxic and this, that, and the third, and she's single. And then I think a day or two later, she was like, "Fine, y'all just love. I see now. Y'all just love negativity." It's just like, girl, you love negativity. Stop with the what's that word? Oh God, it's a word where it's like projecting. She's projecting. Stop it. But what I've learned is we live in a culture, unfortunately, that people love. It's like a race to the bottom. People love controversy. People love to get into the shits. They just do. And it's unfortunate. Guys, as always, please hit the like button. Please like, share, and subscribe to Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel, and this is my reality. Please follow me on Instagram and or on Twitter. Like I said, please like, share, and subscribe. It is a free and easy way to support my videos. I'm sorry, to support my YouTube channel. I'm also on TikTok. I need to put my TikTok handle on there. You can go find me on TikTok as well. Thank you guys for participating in my live, and I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. This is the hump day, right? It's Wednesday, so it's hump day. I gotta go see my cousin. She's in the hospital. I found out yesterday. So I'm gonna go tug on her wig a little bit and go show her some love. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Yay.